relationship with B'nai B'rith International goes all the way back to the 1980s here at the NYSE, and we've been particularly involved in sponsoring the Diverse Minds Youth Writing Challenge since 2006. Additionally, I was honored to receive the B'nai B'rith Distinguished Achievement Award in 2010 on behalf of the company. So each year for the Youth Writing Challenge, one of our senior executives volunteers to actually sit on the judging panel. And instead of burdening that person with all the work, we get a bunch of our other employees together and we convene a group of typically people from our Diversity Council and some of the people from our parenting employee resource groups. And they'll get together, they'll volunteer to read some of the submissions. They will build a consensus. And they will decide what they think is the best recommendation to make. And then we try to annually host the winners here at the NYSE. You can tell when you talk to these children who participate that it's a great example of how these things can and should work. I can't think of a better way to develop children's creative writing skills, yet at the same time having them focused on issues that matter like diversity. So it makes it fun because they get to explore themes that are really important in a book for younger children. So I think the other thing I like personally about it is we get to see copies of the winning book. The children bring them when we host the winners here, and then copies of that book get distributed to libraries and to schools around the metropolitan New York area, so it really reaches a much broader audience, and a lot of children can take the book out of the library, take it home, read it, and learn some of the lessons. I think it's terrific.
That's great.
Each year, the quality gets better and better, and we continue to be impressed with that. I also think that what you're seeing is the children developing as storytellers. So they approach this important issue with creativity, but it's always a unique approach every year. So I never feel like the books, because I've got copies from the winners every year that I've been here, it just seems to get better and better every year and more creative every year. So really some positive trends. Well, what an honor for our company. So it was great for me to have the privilege to accept it on behalf of the company. So the award recognizes a commitment to philanthropy, diversity, education, and leadership in promoting tolerance worldwide. And those are all things we, and frankly any company, should aspire to achieve. So I was proud and honored to have our company recognized for holding up some of those standards, because we do care deeply about them. The NYSE and our foundation has really enjoyed our relationship with B'nai B'rith, and we have a particular admiration for anyone who's been in business as long as B'nai B'rith has. We think of them as kind of a much younger sibling because they're only 170 years old and we're 220 years old, 221 next month in fact. So we admire that longevity and the impact they've had over the 170 years of being in business. I think there's also a similarity in the missions, right? Both enterprises are all about inclusion and they're all about collaboration. We think if you accomplish that, that leads to a diversity of perspectives, which just means you have a greater impact because you have a more talented workforce that can make a difference not just at work but outside of work. So we look forward to many more fruitful years in the partnership.